Because of why I search the deep through endless nights, no time to sleep. The call inside I can't deny. I'll find the light because of why.
Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving into a really fascinating question. How in the world does Finland's education system get some of the best results on the planet by doing less? Let's get into it.
You see stuff like this online all the time. And you know what? There's a reason for it. For decades now, the rest of the world has been looking at Finland's schools, kind of scratching their heads and calling it an education miracle.
And the data, it totally backs this up. Just look at the PISA scores. That's the big international test that measures 15-year-olds in reading, math, and science. Finland has been right at the top, or very near it, since the test began. And they don't just score high, they are consistently great across the board.
So yeah, that's the million-dollar question, right? In this explainer, we're going to peel back the layers and get past the headlines. We want to understand the core ideas behind their success, and as you'll see, some of the very real challenges that you don't always hear about.
Okay, so the first myth we need to bust is that Finnish kids are just, naturally smarter or something. But the real story, the one that data tells us, is about something way more fundamental to their entire country.
The whole Finnish system, and I mean everything, is built on this one core idea: equity. They call it school for all. And that's not just some nice-sounding slogan, it's literally a right in their constitution that shapes every single decision they make.
This number, this right here, reveals the real Finnish miracle. It's not just about the high average scores. What's truly amazing is how incredibly tiny the performance gap is between their best schools and their worst schools. It's one of the most equitable systems on Earth. And they put their money where their mouth is. We're talking free education all the way from preschool through university. Every single student gets a free, healthy meal every day. And, maybe most important, any kid who needs extra help, and that's almost a third of them, gets that support built right into the school day. No stigma, no questions asked. So, if equity is the bedrock, what's actually happening inside the classrooms? Are they filled with some kind of futuristic tech or secret teaching methods that nobody else has figured out? Well, the answer is surprisingly simple. An American teacher who actually went to Finland to find the secret sauce came back with a surprising discovery. She said the day-to-day teaching looked, pretty normal. The real difference wasn't in some fancy method, but in a national mindset, a deeply held belief that less is more. And you can totally see this philosophy in action. Formal school doesn't even start until age 7, when kids are actually ready for it. The school day is shorter, it starts later, and there are tons of breaks. There's basically no homework, and get this, only one big standardized test at the very end of high school. The whole system trusts that kids learn best when they are rested, happy, and allowed to play. And after their main schooling is done, students have real, meaningful choices. This chart shows all the different paths they can take. And notice that vocational school isn't some second-class track. It is a hugely respected and popular option. Over 40% of kids choose it to get on a direct path to a great, well-paying career. All right, the last piece of this puzzle, and honestly, it might be the most important one, is how Finland treats its teachers. Because you can have all the best policies, but it all comes down to the people actually in the classroom.
And no, that is not an exaggeration. In Finnish society, teaching is a highly respected job. It attracts some of the country's best and brightest graduates, and the competition to even get into a teacher training program is insane.
Just think about this for a second. The acceptance rate for becoming a primary school teacher is usually around 10%. That means universities get to pick and choose from a huge pool of talented applicants, taking only the absolute best. And the training they go through is incredibly rigorous. You've got selective interviews, personality screenings. Every single teacher has to earn a research-based master's degree, which includes writing a thesis and doing a ton of supervised in-classroom training. The result is that every teacher is a true expert in their craft.
All that intense training and selectivity creates this powerful, society-wide culture of trust. Parents trust teachers, the government trusts teachers, and that trust gives them incredible freedom and autonomy to design their own lessons and run their classrooms the way they see fit.
Okay, but before we all pack our bags for Helsinki, we have to be honest here. The system isn't a perfect utopia. There are some very real challenges and criticisms that often get lost in all the international praise.
If you dig around online forums or read reports from within Finland, you start to see some of the same concerns pop up again and again. People talk about bullying being a real issue, a feeling that a lack of discipline lets some kids get away with anything, and the very real impact of recent budget cuts on schools.
And that core strength we talked about, that incredible focus on equity, well, it can have a downside. The intense focus on making sure no one falls behind can sometimes mean that the high achievers, the gifted students, feel bored or held back, forced to go over stuff they mastered a long time ago.
So, after looking at all the good and the not so good, what is the big takeaway here? What's the main lesson from Finland's whole education journey?
It's not one single magic trick. It's a whole system of interconnected ideas that they've built over decades. First, it's that relentless focus on equity, making sure no kid gets left behind. Second, it's that cultural belief in less is more, valuing well-being over burnout. And third, it's a deep foundational trust in their highly trained professional teachers.
And this really leaves us with a powerful question for all of our own education systems, doesn't it? So many of us are obsessed with adding more tests, more hours, more pressure. But what if the Finnish model is showing us that the real secret is actually about trusting more, trusting our teachers, trusting our students, and trusting the learning process itself?
Now, I really want to hear from you. What do you think is the biggest lesson your country's schools could learn from Finland? Drop a comment down below and let's talk about it. And hey, if you found this explainer useful, do me a favor and hit that like button, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more deep dives. Thanks for watching, and stay curious.